Racial group in America is more out of line with God's natural order than black people. 70% of our kids are born to unwed mothers. We don't view family as a necessity for success. It's just one of many options. It's prioritized well below allegiance to racial idolatry, the Democrat political party, and hip-hop culture. Those allegiances have made us hostile to a biblical worldview, indifferent toward marriage, and convinced there's little value in male leadership. Scripture is the kryptonite that weakens us rather than the cape we wrap ourselves in to unleash superpowers. Yeah, baby mama culture explains the Tyre Nichols tragedy.
What's going on, guys? I'm Jaye the Black. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about Ciara. Ciara did not like what Jason Whitlock had to say in regards to the whole Tyre Nicholson situation. Now, I did a video on it on my BasikSocialPoliticz channel, and I didn't, I went off of the video and some of the information from the news as far as, what went on. But the one thing that really bothered me is that why would they pull this guy over and why would 5 cops pummel this guy for no reason at all? And then there were posts put out and there were rumors being put out here that Tyre was having relations with one of the police officers, Demetrius Haley, his ex. He was, because I guess Tyre and this guy Demetrius' ex worked together, and they may have been in some sort of relationship, and that's why this happened. I even saw where they said that, Demetrius took a picture of Tyre after they had pummeled him and sent it to his ex. That to me seems like the most reasonable thing, but I noticed there's a lot of people in denial. There's a lot of people who want to use this for a political narrative against police. They want to say white people, but then when they find out that the police chief is a black woman, they can't really use that narrative either. Because I saw some people saying, well, who taught these police officers to act this way? Well, I mean, the police chief is a black female. So are you going to blame her? Are you going to blame her? And at the beginning of this video, I will have played the Jason Whitlock video and the comments that he had to say. And what's really funny to me is why you have so many people who feel like Jason Whitlock is blaming black single mothers. What Jason Whitlock said is I think is very relevant, because when you have males who grow up in a single parent household environment with a single mother, they are raised to think with their emotions because they have no male father figure there. So they think and do things on emotion. And for 5 cops to pull this guy over and pummel him the way that they did in a very emotional manner, erratic emotional manner, because one of the cops is in his feelings, it fits that narrative. And the thing is, hit dogs do holler. And the fact that Ciara was triggered, and others as well, because Jason Whitlock was trending because he had offended all these women who claim to be good mothers, but you look at their social media and they're doing everything but being a good mother. And it's funny that Ciara is triggered by this, right? This kind of reminds me of the Travis Kelce situation with him and his ex-black girlfriend, who was triggered by what Cam Newton said about women and how he wanted more of a traditional woman who cooks and caters to her man, and she had a problem with that. Now you're seeing Ciara reacting strongly to what Jason Whitlock had to say. Jason Whitlock is one man, okay? And the fact that this woman, who's very famous, she's with Russell Wilson. I mean, Russell Wilson gets cooked all over social media weekly, but she never says anything. But you go and you say this about Jason Whitlock. Is it because that what Jason Whitlock had to say had truth to it? But I don't see you defending Russell when he's getting destroyed all over social media. Where's your defense then? Jason Whitlock is a stranger to you, Ciara. Is it because what he's saying makes sense? and women like you who are Democrats, who have benefited as a woman from all these woman first narratives, I tell y'all right now, these women don't have your back. These women know what Jason Whitlock is saying has truth to it, even if they disagree. That's why they're reacting so strong. I didn't react strongly to what Jason Whitlock had to say because Jason Whitlock made good points. And the thing I can respect about Jason Whitlock is he stands on his comments. He doesn't back down. He doesn't apologize like the rest of these guys do. I respect that. Now, some of you may not like Jason Whitlock is what it is. I respect the fact that Jason Whitlock stands on his own. And he doesn't care if you want to cancel him. He doesn't care if you attack him. He doesn't back down like your faves do. All your favorites have bent the knee, have apologized because they're scared of losing what they have. So we're going to get into what Ciara had to say and why, she went viral for what she had to say about Jason Whitlock. And this is according to Yahoo. Ciara didn't hold back and called out Jason Whitlock for his irresponsible comments against black women. On January 27th, the media personality stopped by Tucker Carlson tonight and shared his thoughts on police brutality and the violent passing of Tyre Nichols following the fatal attack by 5 black police officers early in January. Everybody involved in this on the street level was either 24 or 30 to 32 years old. It was a group of young black men, 5-on-1. Looked like gang violence to me, he began. As reported by Essence, it looked like what young black men do when they're supervised by a single black woman. This is a side note. The mayor of New Orleans, right? I saw that, New Orleans crime is out of control. And the mayor of New Orleans is a single black woman who's messing around with a married man, right? And she's dealing with that, getting caught up with that. And also that guy is in some trouble, right? Not only with his wife, but also, with other things as well. Again, this is why I tell y'all that female leadership can be good, but also can be bad, because what happens is they end up hiring a lot of the wrong type of people, because a lot of times they look for different things. When men hire the men, we look for certain qualities, and that's why it minimizes the problems that you see in our society. Whitlock's comments didn't sit well with many people, including Ciara. The following day, the Level Up singer took to Twitter to respond to Whitlock's comments, calling it irresponsible. Says, at Jason Whitlock, as a black man to get on national TV and say something like this is irresponsible. A lot of amazing kids have come from single mothers. For you to also undermine black single women in the midst of this tragedy is so sad. This woman just lost her son. Do better. Others backed Ciara's response by calling out Whitlock in the same thread. Just ignore him. He wants attention. That's why he goes on TV to say the stuff like this. Ignore ignorant people, former NFL player Reggie Bush tweeted. Television personality Holly Robinson Peete chimed in, sharing her thoughts on Whitlock's comments. Thank you, Ciara. What a self-loathing, cold, reckless, stereotypical, insensitive, clout-chasing untruth to spew in front of millions, the actor wrote. Tyre called for his mama, and this was his takeaway. Neither Tyre's mother or Chief CJ are single black moms, so why say that? Pathetic troll. Not long after Ciara shared her tweet, Whitlock responded with a post standing by his previous remark. Appreciate the feedback, Ciara, but at some point we are going to have to deal with the negative impact of baby mama culture. It's destructive and unsustainable. Come up out of denial. Denial won't fix the problem, thanks, he replied. It's not, you got Reggie Bush, Holly Robinson Peete, these guys, what's funny about Reggie Bush is that if Reggie Bush didn't have his stepdad, would he have made it as far as he did? Anyway, I do think they're in denial. And the fact that Ciara had this trigger her. You know, her husband gets destroyed every day. Oh, not every day, but every other day, right? Gets roasted. You never see her defend him. But because of what a stranger had to say, because again, Ciara is a Democrat. She is a Democrat-loving black woman, and Democrat-loving black women do not care about the black family, because if they did, they would not support that party that wants to destroy the black family. Now, people say, well, she's married, Jay. She's married to a rich NFL quarterback. All right? Think about that. If Russell Wilson was a 9-to-5 guy, let's say he works in corporate America, she still wouldn't give him the time of day. Let's be real about that. Ciara is the type of black female that wants to ignore the effects of a fatherless home. Fatherless homes have a negative effect on black children. Those children need mothers and fathers. You got women out here who have no discipline when it comes to men, and they're out here having unprotected relations with men who, once that woman gets pregnant, that guy no longer wants to be with her. So now she's stuck raising the child on her own. Some of these women don't even know who the father of their children are. They wouldn't know. They don't know. They have a thought, you know? And look at what's happening in these single parent households. Look at what's done to these children. Single motherhood has a negative effect on children. Yes, there are children, especially young boys, who miraculously are able to make it out of their situation. But if you were to talk to them, they will tell you how hard it really was. They will tell you how their mothers tried to keep them from their fathers. These women play games with their children. But Ciara wouldn't know that because, see, Ciara lives in a bubble. And of course, they're going to deny. These heifers don't take accountability for nothing. That's why majority of black women are single. The majority of black women are single because they refuse to look at the big picture, the real world. They're in a bubble. They're told that they're on the right track when they're really not. That's why a lot of them are single. That's why a lot of them are getting on social media crying about men going overseas, because they have no real viable options. And guess whose fault is that? It's theirs. So to get on here and act like Jason Whitlock is using this to attack black women, no, he's talking about the bigger picture. He's talking about the emotional, erratic state of black men. And I've spoken about it on my own social media. I've talked about how emotionally unstable black men have become because they're growing up without male leadership in the household to teach them logic and common sense and reason. They're growing up in a single parent household with nothing but emotions. Why do you think you're seeing black men react and act the way that they do? If you were to look at their background, look at how they were raised. They weren't raised with loving parents. They were raised by probably an emotionally unstable woman. That's who they were raised by. A lot of you dishonest heifers get on here and you run your mouths thinking that you're speaking truth, but you're just in denial, as Jason Whitlock said. The fact that Ciara is allowing Jason Whitlock to get under her skin lets me know that she knows he's right. And for guys like Reggie Bush, who grew up with a stepdad, right? He grew up with a stepdad. That's what helped him. A lot of these people know that single mothers are struggling because a lot of these women are choosing to be single mothers. And the reason why I say that is because you don't have to have unprotected relations with every guy that you date or every guy that you want to be in a relationship with. Because let's be real, these women are sleeping with men unprotected who they not even in relationships with. There's a problem in this country, and you can choose to ignore it or you can choose to see the truth. I would not be shocked to see Ciara end up divorcing Russell Wilson. Ciara looks like she's on a trajectory to go right back to the streets. And I'll make a video on later on why I feel that way. Or you can check out the video I did about Gabrielle Union. And Gabrielle Union spoke about how you know, most of her married friends are miserable. I wonder who she's talking about. So let me think in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll see y'all next one.